Hi friends, welcome to our channel. Today we will discuss the concept of exception handling in Python. First of all, what is an exception? Exception is an event or some unconditional situation that occur during the execution of the program. So whenever a program is executed, an unexpected event occurs. Whenever that event occurs, it interrupts the normal flow of the execution. That is, whenever an exception occurs in a program, the normal flow of the program is interrupted. And after the exception, that is, whenever that exception occurs, after that the remaining code will not be executed. To overcome this problem, that is, the normal flow of execution, to maintain normal flow of execution, some exception handling mechanism is developed in Python. Okay. Now, before going to different exception handling mechanism, first we will discuss the important types of errors, that is events that are possible in programming. The important types of errors that are possible in programming. First one, exception. Exception is the base class. Exception is the base class for all types of errors. For all types of exceptions, this exception is the base class. Next, arithmetic error. Arithmetic error is the base class for all types of exceptions that occurs in numerical calculations. That is, if an exception occurs during numerical calculations, all those types of errors are comes under arithmetic error. Suppose one type of arithmetic error is zero division error. Zero division error means, suppose if you want to divide a number with zero, the zero division error occurs. This is an exception. This is an exception. Suppose name error. I will explain. Type error, value error. Okay, first one is name error. Name error means, if you want to access a variable or an identifier, if that identifier is not available, either local or global. Suppose if you want to perform C is equal to A plus B, if A is not available, that is name error. Name error means identifier is not available, either local or global. That is called name error. Name error. Next, move to type error. Type error means, suppose if you want to perform some operation, on a particular data type, but the operation is invalid. For example, consider string. If you want to perform addition of two strings, it is not possible. Why? Because that is a string, not a numeric. That is a type error. You got it? Type error means, if you want to perform an operation that is not suitable for particular data type. Next, value error. Value error means, the arguments we are specifying are of defined type. Suppose I am defining a specific data type, but the value we are passing is of different data type. For example, assume A is equal to an integer. For A is equal to, we are assigning some hello. What happens? For an integer, we are assigning a string value. That is error. Okay. Observe the difference between type error and value error is, type error is, if you want to perform an operation that is not suitable for that particular type. Value error means, we are fixing the data type, but we are assigning a wrong value. That is, for integer I am assigning string, for floating I am assigning string. Those are called value errors. Next, syntax error. So everyone knows syntax error. Suppose in in Python we are using print. In print, if you are by mistake you miss the letter T, so that is syntax error. If any mistakes in the syntax of the program, those comes under syntax error. Next, indentation error. So in Python, indentation is very important. Whenever you lost the indentation, this indentation error occurs. So these are some of the errors. Along with this, we have many number of errors also. Some of the errors that occurs more frequently, and one more error more frequently is IO error. So error occurs during input output operations. Error occurs during input and output operations. So these are the different types of errors that occur during the execution of the program. Now if these types of errors occur, how we are handled? By using this exception handling mechanism. That is our concept. Okay. To handle the exception, we are using try except block. By using try and except block or try and except class, we are handling the exception handling mechanism. So the syntax is simply try colon some block of code except, here some exception colon some block of code. Okay. So the syntax is first try block. So the suspicious code that may cause an exception. Suppose we know that this code may cause an exception. That type of code is written inside the try block. The suspicious code is written inside the try block. After the try block, we are writing an except block. Simply in Java, we are writing try and catch. Instead of catch, in Python, we are using the keyword except. So whenever an exception occurs, that exception is thrown by the try block and that is handled in the exception. That is, in the except block, we are handled those exception. So this exception is the type of error. We already discussed type of errors. This exception is the type of error. Okay, this is. So try block. If there is no exception in the try block, this except block is not executed, because if there is no exception, no need of an except block. Okay, this is a try and except syntax. And along with, I will show the example after. Along with the try and except, it is also possible to use else block also. So it is not compulsory, it is an optional. Try and except are compulsory. Along with this try and except, it is possible to use else block also. So when the else block is executed, if the except block is not executed, remember, it is executed if except is not executed, then only else block is executed. That is, either except or else, only one is executed. If except is executed, that means there is an exception in the try block, then else block is not executed. If except block is not executed, then else block is executed. This is a try, except and else. Try, except and else. Suppose consider an example. Suppose try. Consider any simple example. A is equal to some 10, B is equal to 0, C is equal to A by B. Okay. In except block, suppose if you know this type of error, suppose I know the type of error, this is division by 0 error. So you can write 0 division error. Print, suppose some statement invalid. Else print C. Suppose else print C. So observe this code. First, in the try block, I am writing the code. A is equal to 10, B is equal to 0, C is equal to A by B. Suppose 10 by 0 division occur, 0 by division error occur. Whenever this error occurs, move to except block. In except block, the error is a 0 division error. I am printing the some statement invalid. Else, I am printing the value C. See this one. If an error occurred, the statement invalid is printed. If error not occurred, for example, here some B value is some 5, automatically print C value. Okay, you got it? Error occur, it executes the except statement. If error not occurs, it executes the else statement. This is the syntax and example of try and except block along with else block. And if you don't know this type of error, if you don't know the type of error, what you do? The base class for all types of exception is exception. If you don't know, simply write exception. Simply write exception. But this is not feasible, because if you exactly write the statement, we can import only that one. Otherwise, you can have to search each and every type of error that present in exception. But if you don't know, no problem. Okay, this is one example of try and except. One example of try and except. Okay, now we have one more option with the try and except. One more option. If you forgot to write, so there is no need to write the exception also. Another syntax is try block, simply except, without any exception. Okay, without any exception we can write this also. By default the script considered the default base exception. The script considered the default base exception. Okay, you got the point? So one point is try except. In the except block, I am writing the specific type of error. That is one case. I am writing the base exception. That is second case. The third one is without writing any exception. In this is and this is same. And this case also system automatically consider the base exception, even though we are writing any value. Now in the try and except block, suppose we are using this exception with some variable. Now we will move to this try and except block with some variable. Exception with some variable. For example, write the some statement. Same example, try. Suppose a is equal to 10, b is equal to 0, some c is equal to a by b. The same example, a is equal to 10, b is equal to 0, c is equal to a by b. Suppose print c. Okay, I am writing except statement. Except, I am writing except statement as. Suppose if I don't know the type of error, by default I am writing the base exception. Except exception as E. This one. Okay, another syntax is for an exception we are writing exception variable also. For an exception we are writing exception variable also. So except exception as E. So remaining one is same. Suppose print some message cannot divide, that is some divided by 0 error. Whatever the message, some message. Okay, next print E. What happens? Compare it to the previous example. In the previous example, I am printing the exception. It displays class exception. Suppose in the previous example, this part is not available. Except exception. Suppose this is not available. Except exception. Print cannot divide 0. Suppose instead of this one, I am writing print of exception. Observe the difference. So if it is not present, what is the output? What is the output? First output is cannot divide, and print of exception means the class exception is printed. Suppose if you are using a variable name for an exception, if you are using a variable name by using the keyword as, if you are printing E, it will display the reason for occurring of exception. The variable displays the reason for occurring of exception. So in the previous case, what is the output? Cannot divide and class exception. But in this case, I am printing this value. What is the output? Cannot divide. Here instead of here, it displays the reason for causing exception. What is the reason? It displays division by 0. It displays division by 0. Okay, try and except. And remember, we can write any number of except blocks. We can write any number of excepts. Suppose except zero division error, except zero division error, some set of code, except IO error, some set of code, except IO error, some set of code. For a single try block, we can write any number of except blocks. For a single try block, we can write any number of except blocks. Whenever an exception occurs, it checks the type of exception and that particular code is executed. Check the type of exception and that particular code is executed. Okay, multiple excepts. For a single try block, we can write multiple excepts. Along with this, one more additional property is multiple exceptions are placed for a single except. Observe the difference. We can write multiple exceptions by using multiple excepts, and another possible in Python only is we can write multiple exceptions by using a single except. That is, the syntax is multiple exceptions in a single except, so except space expression name, exception 1, exception 2, and so on, any number of exceptions. Okay, and within the parentheses, that is, we are representing in tuple format, except in the tuple we are writing different types of exceptions. Whenever an exception occurs, if any of these exception matches, this code is executed. You observe the difference between previous and this one. Suppose in the previous one, for this particular type of exception, this is the error. For this type of exception, this is the code. For this type of exception, this is the code. Suppose in this case, all these type of exceptions, I am writing a single code. Whenever an exception occurs, it compares in the tuple. If any matches occur, it compares in the tuple. If any matches occur, the corresponding code is printed. That is, we are declaring multiple exceptions in a single except. Okay. Now, up to now, what we have discussed? We have discussed try block and except block. In the except, we have different cases. Except, after except, we are writing the name of the exception, the first case. After except, we are writing the base class exception, second case. Third one, after except, we are writing nothing, that is simply except : third one. And fourth one, for a try block, we are writing multiple exceptions. For a try block, we are writing multiple excepts. And fifth one, for a single except, within the parenthesis, we can write multiple exceptions. Now, along try and except, we are using else also. Remember, else is executed only when the exception is not executed. If except is not executed, then only else block is executed. Now move to one more thing, finally. So finally statement. Finally means the compulsory executed. If there is an exception in the program or if there is no exception in the program, the finally block is compulsory executed. So we can write try except finally or try finally. Suppose consider an example, a simple example. Suppose try block. I am opening a file. F1 is equal to open of some file name is data.txt. Suppose I am open the file in read mode. And try F1 dot write of hello except or finally. Suppose I am using finally because this is an example of finally block. See this one, in the try block I am open a file with read mode. So after opening a file, if you open in read mode, you have to perform only read operations. But if you want to perform write operation, there is a chance for occurring of error. So for that purpose, I am using try block f1 dot write of hello, f1 dot close off. Suppose in the finally block, I am using the message f1 dot close off. Suppose some print some other message, close the file, except print some error message. Observe this one. First, this try block, I am open the file in read mode. In the try block, I want to execute, I want to write, but it causes an exception because I am writing in read mode, but I want to perform write operation. So, and whenever it causes an error, we move to except block. Here there is no except block. We have finally block. So move to finally block. In the finally block, I am close the file and print some message. So output closed is displayed. This try block and finally block is executed. And in the try block, so it causes an error. So we are moving to except also. It prints an error also. So output is closed and error. Is displayed on the screen. Okay, try, except and finally. These are the exceptions that are generated by the system, or that is generated by our script. Suppose in some situations you need to raise an exception manually. Suppose in some situations you want to stop the normal flow of execution. If you want to interrupt the normal flow of execution, in that situations you have to raise an exception. That means, what is the purpose? If you want to stop the normal flow of execution, manually you have to raise an exception by using the keyword raise. Raise exception, value. The syntax is raise, exception, value. Okay. Here the raise is the keyword which is used to raise an exception. Exception class is the class. Suppose it's zero division error, arithmetic error, IO error, the class. Value is the argument that is passed to the exception class. We are using by using as. We already discussed the example, exception with some value. By using as keyword, we are accessing the value and we are using e as the reference variable. Suppose I will show an example, it is clearly understand. Suppose to raise an exception in a try block, suppose age is equal to int of input of enter sum is, Suppose if age less than 18, it has no error. Actually, if age less than 18, there is a chance. In that situation, suppose whenever age less than 18, I want to raise an exception. For example, for a voter card, if age less than 18, there is no voter card. I want to raise an exception. Raise value error. So why you are using value error? Suppose I want to give a value greater than or equal to 18. Suppose I am giving value less than 18. So raise value error. Else, suppose normal statements. Here no problem. Else print age is valid. Print some message. Age is valid. Okay. In this except. See this one. Here I am manually raising an exception, value error. So in the except block, value error, I am writing a statement print age is invalid. Okay. This is the raising an exception. Whenever or depending on some situation, I am raising this exception. Automatically, whenever this executes, this executes, this else block is not executed. If condition true, else is not executed. Raise value error, automatically it goes to the except class. In the except class, it checks for a value error, so both are matched. It prints the message as invalid. It prints some invalid message on the screen. This is an exception example. Now I will show you one more example. So in this raise value error, suppose in the syntax we have one more point, that is a value. Value is an optional. Suppose if you want to write value also, same example, suppose try some n is equal to int of input of enter a number. Suppose if n less than 0, if you want to test some condition, if n less than 0, automatically this is a negative number. N less than 0, that is a negative number. So in the situations we have to raise an error. Raise value error of negative. Okay, see this one. This is the value. After exception class, we are writing value inside the parentheses. After exception class, we are writing the values inside the parentheses. Raise value error of negative, and the remaining concept is same. Suppose in else block, if you want to write else block, you can write else block. Otherwise, I am simply writing except value error as E. We can access the values. We can access the value by using some reference variable E in the keyword as except value error as E. Simply what to do? Print E. So now what is the output? The output is simply whatever the value we are passing. We are passing negative value. So it displays the negative value. Observe the difference between these two. In this case, I am not passing any error. Sorry, I am not passing any value. If you are not passing any value, so no problem. It moves to this except class. Whatever the statement we are writing inside this statement is printed. So in this case, I am passing a value. Now I can access the value by using suppose key value variable E with the keyword as. So by printing E, this value is printed. This is the concept of raising an exception. Now along with these built-in exceptions, observe all these are built-in exceptions. Along with these built-in exceptions, we can have user-defined exceptions or custom exceptions also. We have user-defined exceptions or custom exceptions. That means we are defining our own exceptions by deriving from built-in exceptions. Remember, it is not directly possible. If you want to create a own exception, you have to derive that from the built-in exceptions. For example, if you want to create an exception depending on values, we have to derive from value error, or we have to derive from arithmetic error. From the built-in exceptions only, we are deriving a value. Exceptions. Now I will show you one example. Built-in exceptions. After that, we are going to custom exceptions or user-defined exceptions. Custom exceptions or user-defined exceptions. For example, class. In this, we are defining an exception class. Suppose consider a simple example, class error. Suppose this is our created exception. Remember, class, this is our created exception. Inside the parentheses, we are writing the built-in exception. Suppose if you don't know the particular type, I am writing the base class exception. Okay, error node. Suppose whatever the statements we are writing inside that are executed whenever that exception occurs. Class error node of, suppose definition self with to use some variable also for causing an exception. Self dot data is equal to. So these are the classes. If you understand the concept of classes, this is very easy. This is a constructor. Suppose if so here I am not explaining this concept. I am writing some statement. Suppose a variable data is used. A variable data is used. Suppose this is the class is completed. Try. In the try block, whenever an exception occurs, raise error node of suppose 100. Raise error node of 100 except error node of as e. Suppose the print some message. Print some message some e dot data. Observe this one. What happens? Here I am creating an exception error node. It is derived from the built-in exception. In that I am just to read a variable data and then return the variable. I am not doing any operation, just to read the variable and then print the variable. Suppose in the try block, raise error node of 100. That means I am calling the exception error node with the value 100. Error node with the value 100. So accept error node as e. So if this has an error, whenever I am calling this one, what to do? Automatically it goes to this one as e dot data. That is simply the output is 100. 100 is printed on the screen. This is the way we are defining built-in exceptions and user-defined exceptions. In the next session, we will move to this concept. Thank you.